All right, everybody, circle up.
From Wish TV.
Here we go.
Indie Style is Indie's only live local lifestyle program.
Everything they do is great.
You're part of it.
Talk about things that I want to know about.
Where life and style meet.
Oh, this is great.
Really great energy.
Really having a wonderful time.
The best.
I love it. Everything about him's great.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the big announcement you've all been waiting for.
This is the Indie Style Podcast.
All right, let's get right to it.
On the All Indiana Podcast Network.
From Wish TV's Indie Style, I'm Amber Hankins. And on this episode, it was 1962. JoAnna LeNoir was 15. Somehow, some way, she found the courage to take herself, her mother Rasheeda, and her siblings out of an abusive family situation and find freedom. Now her story is a new short film called Rasheeda's Freedom Day, which premieres later this month. Here is Miss JoAnna, alongside the film's creative engagement administrator and producer, Moriah Miller. This is the Indie Style Podcast on the All Indiana Podcast Network.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. It's the Sleep Number biggest sale of the year. All beds on sale up to 50% off the limited edition smart bed. Plus free premium delivery with any smart bed and adjustable base. Ends Labor Day. All Sleep Number smart beds offer temperature solutions for your best sleep. Check it out at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com today.
Well, it is the true story of then 15-year-old JoAnna LeNoir, who in 1962 found the courage to take herself, her mother Rasheeda, and her siblings out of an abusive family situation. This was all to find freedom and community as well. And of course, now there is a film premiere all about this. Joining me this morning are JoAnna LeNoir herself, and then Moriah Miller, a creative engagement administrator and producer of course, this film. Thank you both again so much for joining me.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
This is just a fantastic story. JoAnna, I want to start with you because your story obviously runs very deep. Tell me why it was so important to you to get this message out and to share this with other people who especially might be going through the same type of situation.
Well, because as a child I had held it in so long. I had written about it daily. I would write it out, you know, the abuse that I felt and the things that I thought were wrong. And after I would write it, I would destroy it because I didn't have the courage to show or to tell anybody else what was going on. But it was a relief for me, in a sense, that I felt like I didn't have to bear it all by myself.
Absolutely.
By the time I was able to tell the story, I realized how important it is to find somebody that you think that you can rely on to tell your truth. Because when you don't, you stay suffocated in the lie.
Yeah.
You're not able to breathe, and you're not able to live, and you're not able to feel free. And I wanted to feel free.
It's all about feeling free, and I know that's part of your message today. And Moriah, I'm curious how it went from her story, JoAnna's story, to making a film about it. What was this like?
Yeah, so the Harrison Center is an art and cultural center that has studios and galleries, but does creative placemaking as well. So we started getting to know some of the Martindale Brightwood Gratriarchs, or what we call the long-term residents, mostly through porch parties.
Porch parties.
Yeah. So I met Miss JoAnna LeNoir probably on a porch.
Yes.
And we believe that art has the power to know and love our neighbors, to build community, and to heal. And I think that this is a great example of how art can heal. So it got started because the Harrison Center has a residency program. So we had a playwright named Ruthie Busher come and do a 2-month residency, and she wrote a play about the Gratriarchs with 4 of the women, including Miss JoAnna, and she used their own words to write the script of the play. And we thought that was a really interesting form of storytelling to use their own words. And we thought, man, we have to keep sharing these stories. We want more than just a one-time play. And so then we were also working with a local filmmaker named Deja Henry of the Blue House. And we were like, is there some way that we can get these two women to work together? So Deja started meeting with Ruthie. She took the script, she interviewed Miss JoAnna, and she turned it into a short film.
All right, Miss JoAnna, I want you to sort of paint me a picture then of what we're going to see in this film. I believe it's about 30 minutes or so. What can we expect?
We can expect that when I finally decided to tell my mother the story, the real explosion that took place and how I knew that I had to do something, because I felt like if I didn't do something, it was gonna all explode. And I didn't want that. So when I told my mother, and I told my mother that, when I really told her, she was on her job, and I called her at work. We had been told to go grocery shopping, and I decided to stop on the way back home and call her because I could feel the abuse. I could feel what was coming. And I called her and told her that if she didn't come home from work and if she didn't leave here today, that I was gonna kill her husband. Those were my exact words.
Wow.
My brother and I had been at a point where I was asking him to show me how to use a shotgun because our house always had guns in it, but we knew not to bother them. But my brother showed me how to use a shotgun and a safe way to hold it so that I wouldn't hurt myself. And you know, when my mother would go to work and there was no one home but us, he would show me how to break the gun down and how to load it and how to unload it, and you know, the safety points about it, and not to point at anything that you weren't trying to kill. My brother was a year younger than myself, but he was a strong young man. And when I told him what I was gonna do, he was helping me by showing me how to use it properly. And so when I decided to call my mother and tell her, I told her that that's what I was gonna do.
What did she say?
She said first to me that you know you're not supposed to call me at work unless it's an absolute emergency. And I said, that's what this is. And she said, well, go home and gather the children together and I'll be home. So she did come home, but when she came with the pretense that she was ill because she didn't want her husband to know that I had called her. And she gathered us all together, and we were a dirty mess because the kids had been out playing, and we went downtown in a little 5 and 10 cent store, and the man in the store let us buy clothes and redress in the store. And then my mother asked the man to leave us, could she leave us there, that she had to run an errand and she would be right back. And I knew she was going to the bank to clean out her bank account, which didn't have very much of anything in it, and get bus tickets because we were gonna come to Indianapolis because this is where my mother's family was. And her husband didn't know very much about her extended family. He only knew her mother and her father. And when we left, she didn't tell anybody. She told one lady that she worked with, but she didn't tell her mother, she didn't tell her father, she didn't tell her cousins. We just got on the bus and we left. Her uncle knew she was coming and her aunt knew she was coming, and he met us at the bus station, and that's where our life began all over again.
How did that feel for you?
At the time, it was painful because I knew I was leaving friendships that I was just learning to have with my girlfriends, and I was just going to high school, and I had a baby that was 15 months old.
Wow.
From the abusive relationship. And it was just disturbing because all the things that I wanted for myself, I felt had already been taken from me. And that I couldn't live the life that I chose for myself. I had to live a life that somebody else chose for me. And it took quite a while, you know, for me to come to grips with it and learn to live with it. I'll be 76 years old on the 12th of November, and it's as painful today as it was when it happened, when I really think about it. So it does things to your head that you're never free of. And you're always looking for that freedom.
And how does a 15-year-old handle that and go through that?
You just have to say, I'll stand up as tall as I can and reach for heaven. And God Almighty will be there with you.
Yeah. You and I talked before about pain turning into purpose. And I feel like for you, this is a part of your message, your healing heart, because the pain may never go away, the memories may never go away.
Never.
But turning it into something that's positive is powerful.
Because it lets other people know not to hold secrets, not to be afraid. Fight for the things that you know are right. Don't be pulled in by the devil, because he'll get a hold of you and never turn loose.
Yeah.
But fortunately, I met people in my life after I came to Indianapolis that were strong, kind people. They were people that knew how to share love, and it taught me, in a sense, that love overpowers everything. If you genuinely have the love in your heart, it overpowers everything, and it lets you survive in a life that you can deal with. I have 4 children that I love very much, and they're great children. I tried my best to be the best mother I knew how to be at 15 years old, and I think I did a pretty good job.
Well, support and community, Moriah. I know this is a big part of the purpose of this film. Tell me, there's some like block party or something with this, JoAnna?
Well, we get together and we have a family reunion every year. We invite the neighbors to celebrate the freedom.
That's Rasheeda's day,
That's
right?
Rasheeda's day.
Yeah.
And I named my daughter Rasheeda after my mother because I did not feel that it was supposed to belong to me. It was not supposed to be my child. And I told that to my mother before she passed away. And before she passed away, we had a wonderful relationship. We were able to talk, and, you know, I was able to let her know how I really felt and how I understood how afraid she really was. And it just, in a sense, it gave me a lot of power to be able to feel that I could help my mother as well as my siblings.
You have so much strength. So much strength. So much heart.
Yeah.
And I imagine women out there who are going through similar situations, because you talk about your mom, and people on the outside, it's real easy to say, why didn't she leave a long time ago?
Right.
But you experienced all that. We talk about the things that go in with it. It's not.
It's not that easy.
Yeah.
It's not just to close your mind to it. It's something that you have to work through, you know, because in a sense, I knew my mother was in as much pain or even more
Right.
than myself. And I had to be there for her. And the only way for me to do that was to be honest. And it took everything in me to do it, but I did it.
And I'm so glad, Moriah, that you guys are a part of her story. I would imagine this just speaks to your heart as well.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of my favorite things is that I get to work with Miss JoAnna, and we've been working on this film for, I mean, all in all, the play started January 2020. So
wow.
it's been a long time.
Well, let's give a few details very
Yeah.
quickly on, again, when and where and how we can get involved and take part and go see this story.
Yes, so the premiere is set to be November 12th, which is Miss JoAnna's birthday.
Nice.
Yes, and the event starts at 6:30 p.m. The film will start at 7. It's going to be at the Toby Theater in Newfields. And tickets are available on the Newfields website. The event is called Rasheeda's Freedom Day. And there will be a panel afterwards with Miss JoAnna, the director, Deja Henry of the Blue House, and Samson Livingston of Through Two Eyes, Indiana, to give a little bit of the historical context of the film.
Yeah.
And we'll get to hear a little bit from Miss JoAnna herself. So we're excited about that.
And I don't want to even let you guys go, but Miss JoAnna, I would like to go back to you to wrap this up. Any final words or message that you would like to give about your experience, especially to other women who either are going through this or may have gone through something similar at such a young age? Because that's a tough burden, I know.
Yeah. It's, I guess the most powerful thing for me was to not be destroyed by the hate and the evil. And I had to know in my head and in my heart that love overpowers everything. And if you show love, you can receive love. If you don't show love, you can't receive it. So you have to give to get. And you have to keep that uppermost in your mind. And I try to be a loving person. I try to be a giving person. And most of all, I try to be an honest person.
It's almost going back to the thought that what you go through does not define you. That is not who you are.
No.
That is what you went through.
Right.
But that is not who you are.
And you can come out on the other side like sunshine.
Like sunshine, girl. You keep shining.
Yeah.
Shining oh so bright. We thank you for your message, for your story, and Moriah, for you guys doing what you can to tell it. I wish you nothing but blessings ahead. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
From Wish TV's Indie Style, I'm Amber Hankins. Be sure to like and subscribe to the Indie Style podcast right now on the All Indiana Podcast Network.
Watch Indie Style weekday mornings at 10 a.m. on Wish TV. Follow Indie Style on Facebook and connect for even more at wishtv.com.
This concludes our broadcast day.
For even more great podcasts, go to